Okay, now before we start, I don't have results in getting money online. I'm not talking about necessarily that today because obviously I don't have that. Now, what I want to share with you is something I found out in terms of discipline, becoming more disciplined with, for example, my work tasks, my filming the YouTube videos and making my courses and so on, that you can perhaps find useful in terms of discipline methods to focus on your work, because we all know, okay, well, obviously we need to be productive and do our work tasks. So that's what I want to talk about today. So yesterday, I watched a video from Charlie Morgan, you might know him, and he talked about the first principles of something, deconstructing something. And I thought, okay, what if I actually deconstruct discipline, right? That'll be very interesting. And I didn't think I could actually find something really that interesting when I actually begin doing it, but actually, it's pretty cool, you'll see. So first of all, let's start from this. What is discipline exactly? Well, discipline is the state of pursuing an action that you don't feel like doing, but still do it because you will achieve a certain result. Now, that result is the motive, the motivation of why we do this, the reason of why we do this. And you might say, oh, but Sebastian, isn't this motivation? Isn't this just motivation? Well, no, think about it. If you didn't want the goal, well, obviously you wouldn't put discipline in because you wouldn't care about it, right? So the thing is, the goal needs to be meaningful. That's the motivation of why you take the action. Let's try to put this super simple, right? The reason of why you take action is because you want the goal. Now, on the path to that, you'll have distractions and feelings like, oh man, I don't feel like working on that today. But then that's where you use discipline so that you still take the action so that you achieve the result. Hopefully it makes sense. Now, what do we need to put discipline in so that we achieve the result? Well, action, right? So now deconstructing action, I thought about it and I found these three things. So one is mental and physical energy, and number two, the why we take the action in the first place, and third is the time required for getting the result as a consequence of applying the action constantly. Now, how do we improve each one of them, right? So for mental and physical energy, and please listen to this because I've been using this and these are super, super helpful, right? So first, 8 hours of sleep, right? Basically, this is massive, right? Because if we mess up on this, next day, bro, we gotta make sure like we actually do this. Because look, when I slept 7 hours or less for quite a while, just to become more productive, to have more time, supposedly, well, guess what? My energy was trash and my mood as well, and I didn't get that much productive work done. I mean, I woke up, I remember many days in a row with 7 hours or less of sleep. I woke up and I tried to work, but guess what? I just began falling asleep as I was doing certain tasks for whatever, the videos or the courses and so on, or reading something. I was just falling asleep. So thing is, once I actually began having 8 hours of sleep, it massively changed my energy and my productivity, therefore. Because when you have a bunch of energy, you wake up with a bunch of energy, and you are in the optimal state for actually working, because sleep, imagine how it wires your brain and your body. Like it's an organizer of all those things in the body, whatever, as you sleep, right? When you wake up, obviously with all that and way better energy, of course you'll have way better productivity as well, right? And you'll be in a way better state to optimally work. And also, what helped me also is to have a mouth tape. All those things, that stuff, that tape which you put, is not like super glue. It's a bit thinner. It's not bad for you. You just put it, and obviously you have more oxygen in and throughout the night, because you obviously breathe through just the nose, and therefore you have way more energy when you wake up. And I found that it helps me, at least. Now, next thing is work fasted, or at least don't eat carbs before you eat. Generally, just work fasted, because when you eat, especially carbohydrates, it requires a lot of energy from the body, right? For the body to actually digest all that, and for the brain as well. And therefore, you just begin feeling sleepy, feel a bit sloppy, and you begin having brain fog. Well, guess what? That's not good for you, right? So when I usually used to film videos earlier in the day, or do some work tasks, I generally just do my work first, and then after that, eat whatever, right? And that way is even easier. Plus, you also teach yourself the reward system. Okay, we don't deserve to. Well, it sounds weird, but we don't deserve to eat right now. We need to do work first, and then we have the food. It makes sense. Plus, either way, it helps massively with your productivity and ability to work. Now, next thing is a simple plan of action. Do not overwhelm yourself. Do not be too complicated. Do not make the work too complex. Actually have a simple plan of action so that you don't have excuses to not do the work, and for it to actually be simpler to understand. Now, next is correct allocation of brain points and less distractions. So imagine, right? Imagine we have, I got this idea from a guy called Hamza. We have, when we wake up, a certain amount of brain power or mental focus, and let's say we call it brain points. Let's say you have 100 or 1,000 when you wake up, right? Now, if you spend it carelessly on some dumb stuff, you scroll through the internet, or you waste your time with this habit, with this bad habit, with that bad habit, well, guess what happens? You obviously don't have as much. And when you don't have as much, you're kind of mentally drained, and it's even harder because you don't have as much energy, don't have as much focus. So it's not good for work at all. So what you gotta do is, like I started to do a while ago, is to just focus on pretty much first thing on the work that you gotta do. Plan at night what you're gonna do the next day, and then in the morning when you wake up, just do those tasks, right? So for example, for me, it can be scripting for a video, or editing this video, or working on the course on this specific thing, stuff like this. And also, to have more brain points and to allocate your attention better on the tasks, turn off the notifications and work first thing in the morning. That's it, bro. That's it. Now, another thing is positive mood, high frequency. And again, it's not just about motivation, but it's about being in a more optimal, healthy state for work. Because when you feel depressed and sad and disgusting, your brain thinks, okay, well, yeah, sure, be disciplined, but we have a bigger problem here. We don't want to feel like this forever, right? So it will go and try to find ways to feel better. And usually that's from bad habits, because they give us a lot of pleasure fast, right? But thing is, that pleasure from bad habits always leads to regret. We don't want to do that, basically. What we want to do is to get into a high frequency, good emotion, good, positive, healthy emotion, happiness, love, joy, peace, enlightenment, through good habits that increase our serotonin and endorphins, such as the workouts, the 8 hours of sleep, is way better for your mood, also in productivity, energy. Also cold showers, walks in nature, perhaps playing an instrument, flow state, and so on. Now these things, what they do for you is that they increase the serotonin and endorphins in your body. It's a way better optimal state for you to be in, so that you work and don't have the distractions to think, oh, but I want to do this thing because I want to feel better. No, you just cut that off. You feel already good, and you're in an optimal state to go and work. Now, also, you gotta have a clean, correct environment, work environment, and also online environment. What you listen to, the type of information you listen to, is it educational, is it good, or is it just entertainment and just some stuff you don't need? And also in terms of your work environment, for example, what I put my laptop here is pretty much just clean. I got the things away. What else there were here, just got them away. I just got my laptop, and that's it. I just focus on this, right? Or when I film with my phone or something at my desk at home, because right now I'm at my grandparents. And so when for example, I'm at my desk at home, right? I get all the things away from the desk. I just got my the books that I lean my phone on, that I put my phone on, so that it stays a bit higher. And that's kind of it. And I just make the videos, something like this. Because when you have all these things in your environment, it just breaks your focus. It's just not good. The next thing is obviously cold showers. Sorry for this. The next thing is cold showers, because obviously they increase your serotonin, your energy, endorphins, and so on. Now, then, on the part of the why, right? So we have the mental and physical energy, the why, and the time. Now, how do we enhance the why? How do we improve that? Well, let's think. Why would we put ourselves through something, for some discomfort, just to achieve a certain result? Well, obviously because the result is meaningful to us. Meaningful, basically important and desirable, right? So, for example, I prepare for my mini marathon on 29th of September, 10.5 kilometers. And I can do 10 kilometers right now, or at least when the temperature is not that high outside. And thing is, I'm preparing for all that so that I get a better time and so that I can go for longer without stopping. Kilometers and kilometers and kilometers without stop, which basically I managed to do. But I still need to go even beyond that and have an even better time, right? And even more endurance at a higher speed, because I want to also get a better place. Hopefully first place. Will I even get it? I don't know. But I'm training for it. And basically the why, the reason is meaningful to me because I want to prepare for that race basically, where I don't know if you say a race, but you get the point, right? So I want to get first place. So basically, why is the goal meaningful to us? Let's analyze that. Well, probably because of the great variety of feelings and experiences we think we might have once we achieve it, and also as a consequence of the flow state and good feelings of the process itself, right? So now how do we make the result more exciting and more meaningful then? Again, it's not just motivation. It's you have a goal that needs to inspire you, that you want to get it. You'll have distractions, but you got to use discipline then to keep pushing so that you achieve the result. That's how it works. Now, you got to make the goals way more way more clearer and seem closer. Because when we do that, well, obviously the goal becomes way more exciting. Now, in my case, in my example, for example, I'm messing up with my words. My bad. Now, the thing is, how do we do this? As I said, in my example with running, right? I want to get first place. And thing is, to make a goal way more exciting for you, you got to make it super specific. So, for example, I don't just go and try there and see, okay, what place I got. No, I want specifically first place. Training for it 2 times per week because I also work out and I want to let my body rest and stuff. But you get the point. And in one day, train for speed. And in that other day, I do my best to do 10.5 kilometers no stop. That's basically a specific plan for a specific goal, and that makes it seem closer and more achievable and way more exciting, if it makes sense, right? So let's say an example of a wrong framing of the goal. Getting in shape, which is a great goal to have, but is not as specific as we could make it. What I mean by this is that you can have a better example with doing this, basically. Making it way more meaningful through specifying. Cut down to, let's say, 70 kilograms to 12% body fat. Now, I'm not saying you need to do this. Obviously, for everybody it's different. But this is just an example. You know where that is. It looks way more achievable because it's real. It's not just some vague goal. It's super specific. Okay, it's in that direction. That's exactly. And also what you can do is to add some vision boards, right? Put a document on your laptop or something and put some pictures of some people that already have achieved the result you want so that it inspires you and motivates you, right? Now, of course, don't get sad that you're not there yet, because obviously don't compare yourself to their level 10 when you're only at level 1. Obviously, you need to put the action and the time in. But thing is, and also don't, as a side note, don't put people on a pedestal. Don't worship them. Don't idolize them. That's a sin. Only worship God, but only worship Jesus. But anyway, the point is, put vision boards of people that already achieved the goal that you want, and expose yourself to it, and also even online, and put the goal, make it way more specific. When we do that, the goal is way more meaningful. And let me try to say again how it's not just motivation, right? Because, for example, I love running, I like running, but that doesn't mean it's easy for me, right? For example, imagine this. You run kilometers without stop. 10 kilometers, no stop. It's hard, but I still keep pushing. Why? Because obviously I want to achieve that goal of the getting first place, right? And also improving your standards. Once you achieve a certain amount, let's say a certain level of the thing itself. For example, okay, these many kilometers, okay, 10K. Well, obviously I know I can do 10K. Now I need to make sure that even when it feels hard, well, either way, I know I can do 10K. I have no excuse. I gotta go do that. That's a level of exposure also. That's helpful as well. Now again, make the goal super specific. Even though it feels hard, you will keep pushing because you want the result itself. That's how it works, or at least what I found for myself. Now for time, right? For productive time. What is productive time? Well, it's time in which the required actions to achieve the goal are pursued by you in the correct set amount and perhaps, order. And thing is, deconstructing productive time. Well, we have the schedule and following it, making your schedule, and actually pursuing it, and doing the work in the morning, and also having patience. Now, these things are obviously super important because are basically the first principles of time, or at least productive time, I mean. Or at least some ways that massively helped me and many others to become way more productive. So think and disciplined. So think about it. You'll obviously be way more disciplined with your work if you have a clear schedule in place. When you don't wander around, what should I do? I don't know, what do I feel like doing? No, we want to get that feeling kind of away right now, at least for now, and think about what do we need to do. And that's where the schedule comes in place, right? So you make the schedule, and guess what? Super important thing, do your work in the morning, or at least most of it, or at least the most important tasks. The most important tasks, because when we do this, obviously with the brain points, and it's way easier to do that in the morning than later in the day. When you have so many more distractions and things intervene, you need to help your family members with something. You need to go to the store or something, buy some groceries, take the trash out, do some chores, and so on. You have school, job, and so on. So do your work in the morning. For example, when I wake up before school, I've been all this time, right now it's summer, but all this time I've been waking up before school and just completing my work then, or at least quite some of it, right? In terms of the videos, filming them or editing them and so on. And of course we have patience, because obviously we don't know exactly how much time we'll need to, so in order to achieve the goal. So that's where patience comes in place. Now, this next idea is from Charlie Morgan specifically, but it's trial by fire. And this is such an interesting concept that will help you a lot to understand why you self-sabotage, or at least another reason why, and why you cannot seem to achieve a way better standard for yourself in terms of discipline and productive work. Now, we have goals, right? But there's this thing called resistance that manifests in different ways, like boredom, anxiety, perfectionism, I can do it later type of stuff, and many other forms of it that stop us and make us stay in comfort. Now, a part of our current self doesn't want us to change. You might say, why? Because we want the goal. Well, yeah, of course, but a current part of ourself wants to stay in comfort. And Charlie explained in the video this interesting thing, how it's almost like a person, like a totally new, there's basically you who wants to achieve this goal in the future, and you right now, and it's basically like two different people. And he explained, like, you gotta kill this one. Of course, don't die, don't kill yourself, don't do any of that stuff. But I mean, your current standards need to die for you to adopt new standards and new work habits and stuff like this. And a part of you right now wants to stay in comfort, so it will try to self-sabotage so that you don't achieve the goal and don't do the work, therefore, right? Now, thing is, how do we make sure we change that and actually get new standards and become that new person who is disciplined? Well, I have a bunch of videos on the channel through which I explain all that. Actually, some other methods that I found out and from experience and other mentors. But basically, what Charlie explained in Trial by Fire is that we do this by this equation. Effort times resistance equals pain. And pain means discomfort, basically. Not necessarily physical pain, like hurting yourself directly, deliberately. No, I mean just discomfort, right? And the more discomfort we feel, the more these old standards die, and the more we adopt and adapt to new ones, and therefore leveling up and becoming that new person. Because our identity, our beliefs, and our standards are basically, let's say, united through this self-image, identity, whatever. And when we adopt a new standard, we're exposed to this new height. Well, we want to stay here, right? Even though it feels hard, well, we don't want to go lower because that's just stupid, of course. So we maintain this standard and we constantly increase it through more discomfort. So, very, very important, right? The effort needs to be higher than the resistance, because think about it. If effort times resistance equals pain, well, let's say we know the pain and we know the resistance. Let's say the pain is the number 18, and let's say the resistance is the number 6, and we don't know the effort, right? Well, obviously, like in math, like in school, well, it is math. You divide, okay, pain divided by resistance and equals the effort, right? 18 divided by 6 equals 3, which in this case, the effort is smaller than the resistance. Guess what? That obviously won't work, because you just won't put the effort in, because the resistance is so much bigger that it will literally not allow you to put in the action. So what you want to do is to put even more effort in, like, as Grant Cardone says, has this book, like the 10x rule. You gotta put 10 times, or at least way more times, the effort and action in and quality in, so that you create more pain, and that effort is way higher, way brighter, way better, way bigger than the resistance itself. Once you do that, you'll be able to actually do the work and level up your standards and be in more pain, or at least in more discomfort. And again, this resistance is just wanting to stay in comfort and not wanting to take action in, because of certain things, like obviously wanting instant gratification, being a perfectionist, and saying, oh, I can do the work later, not now, and oh, I have this other thing I gotta do, whatever. Excuses, basically, that make you not work. And you think they're justifiable. You think that, oh, because I have all these reasons, well, that means it's okay for me to not work right now. But in fact, that is not actually correct, is it? So the thing is, we gotta increase the effort passively. When we do that and put way more effort in and apply all these things, well, obviously we become way more disciplined, way more productive, and we put way more action in it and become a new kind of person, because we adopt new, higher, bigger standards and of work and of productivity, of discipline, and so on. You get the point. And also, I have way more videos on how to actually improve your identity and also your discipline through different methods that I've been using for literally months to literally change my life. I remember, bro, in September 2023, I felt like a loser. I was not that disciplined. I let people down. I let myself down. I was not really as disciplined, as confident as I thought I was. Now, thing is, I managed to change that massively, completely, and achieve such a level of confidence and of self-respect, of discipline, of productivity, and to begin loving life way more through certain methods that I've been teaching through these videos. So if you're interested, go and watch them. And also, I do some free coaching calls right now. I don't know for how much time, but yeah, if you're interested, go and sign up for them, and you'll have a link in Gmail. And yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next one. Peace.